Creating African praises loops in flstudio. Let's start with a project tempo of 100 BPM. Just bring it down to 100. Come to your browser option. This is where you're going to load our samples onto the channel rack. On this folder, African praise loop samples, open it. The samples I'm using here will be free for you to download them. Hit on the link on the description panel. You get all these files for free. Let's start with conga high. Bring it onto the channel rack. Now let me enable my metronome. Listen. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. For the conga high, you can see on the channel rack, we have the first black group, the red group, the black and the red. On the red group, the last two notes, that's what I'm going to be using here. The last red group, the last two notes, just like that. Go to the conga low. With that one, I'm just going to be using the last red group, the first note, and for the last black group, the last note. All right, now let's load our claps. I'm going to start from the first red group, the last but one note, just like that. Skip 1, 2, 3 notes, then you plot 1, 2, 3 notes, then you plot. We can go ahead and bring on board our cowbell. With that one, your first note, then you skip 1, 2 notes, you plot another note, 1, 2 notes, plot, then you skip 1, 2, 3, then you plot another note, then you skip only one note, just like that. Let's bring on board our shaker. For the shaker, just one note here, one note here, one note, and one note there. Let's bring on board shaker 2. With that one, the shaker 2, I'm just going to plot the note in front of the first shaker, okay? So, look at this note. In front of it, I plot one note. With this note as well, plot, plot, plot. Bring on board shaker 3. I'm going to plot the note in front of shaker 2, just like that. In front of shaker 2. You see that? So on shaker 4, let me bring on board on the last note, last note, last note, last note, just like that. At this point of the tutorial, consider supporting the channel by liking the video, comment thank you, subscribe and share the video as well. God will richly bless you. Let's come back to the channel rack, select all the entire stuffs here. You can see that. Hit on the channel options. I'm going to color the entire element on the channel rack. So I have two options between gradient and random. I'm going to choose random for time's sake. You can see it colors everything for me. Let's go back to the channel options again. On the assign selected to frame mixer tracks, the shortcut assigned to it is Ctrl+L. And just hit on that, and you have our mixer open. You can see, if you follow the instruction, you see that as well. At this point, let's go ahead and select all the styles being colored on the mixer channel. To do that, hold on to Ctrl+Shift, then drag to select all of them. Let me route all these styles to insert 10. So I'm just going to right click on this up arrow here, say route to this track only. So if I hit on play, listen. That's what it does. It sends the audio signals from the individual tracks to track 10. So I'm going to right click on track 10, say rename. I'm going to call it loops group. I'm supposed to choose a color for it. So all the audio signal coming from this individual tracks is coming to the loops group before this channel send the signal to the master bus. So that's all what I'm doing here. The next thing for us to balance the sound of the individual element. If you don't have proper studio monitors, or maybe you are not a professional studio engineer, so balancing sounds with your speakers that you have, maybe finding yourself wanting. So there's this simple trick that I use if you don't have proper studio monitors. Just load on this loops group channel, load Fruity limiter. Here is it. It is a stock plugin. You can just load that for free. I'm going to mute all these elements on the board. Just mute all of them. Okay. Now I'll select the first element, that the conquer high, then start playing. Okay. Enable the second element, the third element. As soon as the collapse came in, look at the graphics here. You can see that spike here. It means you need to bring down the collapse because the volume is too loud. Okay. Listen. Okay, let me bring it a little. I want to have at least even sound here. And as I bring in my cowbell, the volume is also loud for me. So I'll bring it down a little. Bring in shaker 1. It's cool. Shaker 2. Shaker 3. Kaish. Bring down the volume a little. Okay, that's the shaker 3. Bring on shaker 4. Alright, so you can see that from the graphics here, if you don't have proper studio monitors, you have at least even sound. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is just increase the loudness to a specific point so that when we are playing the loops in whatever system that you're playing the loops, you don't have to go back and forth adjusting the gain. So with this gain button here, this gain over here, I'm going to increase it to a point where this transient reaches the ceiling. This bar here is the ceiling. Okay, so if I hit on play, I'm going to increase it, increase. You can see some of the transient is cutting through the ceiling. Okay. So at this point, it's cool. I'm having those low signals coming up a little. Okay, so at this point, I'll leave it as it is. If you are someone who will be playing the loops in the F4P Direct, then at this point, you can skip watching the video. But if you want to further export it as an audio file, then let's go ahead. Click on this, view playlist. You understand? All what we played has been loaded into part 1. Just bring it on board. Drag and drop it here. I'm going to extend this stuff for it to reach at least 10 minutes. Okay, that's how I export my loops. Now, how do I know that the loops that I'm exporting is 10 minutes or whatever? So there's a simple trick to do. Let me just select. As soon as it's been selected, just hit on Control B, duplicate. All right, at this point, I'm going to hit the end part of the loops. Just select the ending part. Look at this place. This is the hinge panel. Look at that place. You can see it has been written 443. It means 4 minutes 43 seconds. Okay, so that's the time frame of this entire loop. Now let me go ahead and still duplicate to a point where I feel it's okay. So at this point, I've reached 11 minutes 22 seconds. So I'm just going to bring my, okay, at this point, here is 10 minutes exactly. Then delete the rest of the stuff here. And this is exactly 10 minutes loop. You can see 10 minutes exact. You can go ahead and export it. Click on this file icon. Choose export. You can choose between WAV file and MP3, but for the WAV file, the quality is far better than the MP3, but the file size is outrageous. So let me choose MP3 file. Choose a location, for instance. You can choose MP music. Type your name, African praise loops. Then add your tempo, 100 BPM. You can go ahead, hit on save. But one thing you have to take note is make sure your MP3 bit rate has been increased to the maximum level. And you can copy the exact setting that I've used here only if you follow the lesson as it is. And change resampling rate. You can choose 32, it's okay. Then hit on start. All right. Make sure you enable the show file so as soon as it finish exporting, you can see where the file is. If you do that, hit on start and everything will be set for you. On the screen here, this is my exported loops as I did my own. So let me enable it. Okay, so it sounds clean. And if you compare to the length of the MIDI file, is the same thing. Look at this point. It's the same as what we exported. So that's how we do export loops in flstudio. If you really enjoy it, give me a subscribe, like the video, comment, thank you, okay, and share the video to your close friends and relatives. Thanks for your time. God bless you.